Singles of Reddit, what's your biggest dating struggle right now? Getting to my late 20s. I don't want to date anyone I don't see a serious future with. Makes it way too easy to pick holes in people. Probably quite unfairly. Something my dad told me when I was trying to buy a condo: if you look too closely at anything, all you see are flaws. Since then, I found that statement to have applications in lots of places. Edit, to clarify. I'm not telling people they should abandon their standards. I just know that I've become much happier when I learn to trust my gut and to stop deliberately looking for problems in things, or people, just to reinforce my own negativity. Feeling like I have to entertain women on Tinder in order to stand out. I get that. Hi there. How are you? Is boring. Particularly when 500 other men are in your inbox with that same opening line. But having to come up with a zinger, pun or memorable pickup line for every new woman I match with is tiring. I want to connect with someone, not dance like a trained monkey for them. It isn't women's fault. There are just too many potential matches for them to wade through. But it is exhausting for a guy to have to constantly fight to be noticed among the horde of mindless, horny dudes. I don't think I'm a good enough person right now to be in a healthy relationship. I'm broke, mentally ill, out of shape, and very insecure. I need to get my shit together before I can feel comfortable asking someone to share their life with me. I'm maybe a bit too comfortable being single. I got a good thing going right now. I operate on my schedule. I do what I want when I want. And I'm able to be totally self-absorbed. It's nice, so I don't put much effort, or any at all, into dating because I'm happy right now. Just got out of a serious relationship and the thought of doing it all over again exhausts me even though I feel so lonely. I hope I feel like this one day. I have no idea how to flirt or read whether women aren't trying to flirt with me. So I always just err on the side of caution and assume they aren't. I see it happen to others. I understand what things are done, but I just don't know how to apply it to myself. The ghosting culture. The fact that we have a date set up and they just stop talking to you. Or when you've actually had a date or two and they just stop talking to you. It's really annoying and immature. If you're not interested, just tell me. I'm a big boy, I can take it. It's just the culture of online dating. I can't stand online dating. Last year, after a date with plans for a second date, I got a message from her days in advance explaining that she was starting to see somebody exclusively. Think whatever you will about it, but it was the most refreshing end to things I think I've ever had. Online dating. On the surface it seems great in that you can meet people online without having to physically see each other to make contact. The trade-off is the utter mountain of nonsense and completely shallow profiles. Almost every girl I meet has a boyfriend or husband. Many people I meet can't answer their phone or respond to a text. Many people cancel plans or don't even show up. The ones that finally get past this initial stage are often busy, so I can rarely see them. That I quite frankly don't know how to date. Almost 24 and only had one BF ever, who I recently broke up with. I know I need to get out more often. I keep myself busy outside the house. But I don't meet new people, but it's difficult when you're shy. I put in my Tinder profile that I'm shy, not DTF, and prefer the first kiss on the second date. I've actually gotten some nice responses from shy guys and went on a few dates with one. You might be surprised. There are definitely people on every dating site app who are like us and are thinking, I don't know why I am doing this, but here goes nothing. In my early 20s I was fat and ugly. Now I'm almost 30 and just ugly and feel like I missed the boat. My fat ugly uncle found his soulmate in his 50s. There's no such thing as the boat. I'm scared no one likes me. Same. Is it a I think I'm boring scare? I annoy people scared or something else? And why do you think this? I've been trying to word this sentence properly for like 5 minutes now, but here goes. I'm too indifferent. I just seem like a brick wall with no emotions from the outside. I don't often share any of my interests. which makes it hard for anyone to hold a conversation with me without awkward silences. In a conversation, I'm way too dominating. But in person I'm extremely timid and scared of making people feel uncomfortable. Besides this, the only girls I come in contact with are my classmates and one female friend of mine. I don't ever go outside because of school, and thus don't meet new people. Also, my voice is extremely annoying. I sound like I always have a bubble in my throat. I think that's about all. Finding men to date. I mean, I live in a rural area. Single men of my taste are rare. I have a hard time finding guys, and I live in, I think, the 4th biggest city in the US. It's just hard to meet people at this point in life. Opportunities aren't quite as frequent as they were when I was in college or even right after college. Most of my friends are pretty settled in their lives, so I don't get a lot of exposure to new people. It's been a long time since I've met someone I'm even interested in. I don't put myself in scenarios to meet other people. I go to work, small company, go home. The only time I actually come into contact with someone new is at a store or restaurant. But that seems very inappropriate to hit on someone who has to be there. I can't keep a conversation going with someone on Tinder. Either they have one-word responses and it's clear they don't want to continue, or I can't think of anything to say. And anyone worth dating from high school who is single I've already asked out and been rejected : Edit. Also, on Tinder girls, it seems like every time I think it's going well I get ghosted after talking to them for 2 days. Edit 2. I'm glad my highest comment is about my failure to find people to go out with. Sums up my life very well. Constantly feeling like just a party trick. I can hold a conversation and crack a witty joke or reply, but most of the time I'm silent. I feel as though if I started dating someone, when they get to know the real me they'll find an empty void. I fear overstaying my welcome in someone's life and being revealed for the true bland person I am. Edit. What some consider me undervaluing and underestimating myself is more of my self-assessment to use when trying to better myself. Relationships are a two-way street. And until I feel I can bring something to the table when it comes to dating, I'm holding off on it. I'm 100% comfortable with being silent around others. I just worry that all I have to offer in a relationship other than the occasional quip is eternal silence. Constantly getting rejected. Even from girls I assumed I had a good chance with. Also, whenever I am talking to someone new, and it feels like there's something there, I found out they have a BF husband or they're talking to someone else. Shit sucks. And I can tell it's making me more resentful of couples, pessimistic in general. I have nothing to offer. I'm clumsy, shy and not that bright. I bet you're very sweet and great at cuddling, though. Lack of interest really. I never had a problem getting dates in my 20s. But I never found someone I could quite trust enough to make a lifelong commitment. I have gotten close a few times, but breaches of trust always happened first. That and everyone seems uncomfortable, almost afraid. These days, it's hard to get to know people when they keep themselves so shielded. I had just entered my 30s and it's getting late in the game for me. As I get older it feels like it's getting increasingly more casual. That and I feel like I am to down the life progress to keep dating women in their early mid-20s. It is starting to feel like a power issue when you have a well-paid career, a sizable home, nice car, pay for most everything, and you are seeing someone that is still going to school or freshly graduated, working those shit jobs looking for that break, and are a decade or so away of being able to independently live the lifestyle you offer. Not that it's a huge deal breaker, but it makes it hard to tell how much of a woman's interest is my actual person and not what I have to offer financially. Especially when it feels like they will never tell you no because they feel like they owe it to you, when you want them to be able to. However, in my age category it's usually divorced moms everywhere. Not that there is anything wrong with that, but it comes with the same issues on top of that. I am not looking to take care of someone else's child. It is like I missed the train to figure that out when I was just broke and all I had to offer was outgoing attitude and a dirty sense of humor. Or maybe I am just a snob with trust issues and should just get over it. I haven't figured it out yet. Due to so many rejections, I have the self-esteem of a potato. Who says potatoes can't have high self-esteem? Potatoes are great. I peaked. Online dating sucks for a billion reasons. I find myself getting inordinately frustrated with some common patterns that I see on profiles. Like someone's primary picture having a Snapchat filter. Or having multiple people in every photo. There are the profiles that have nothing but just ask below them. The obvious bot models with a call me number along their profile picture. The people whose entire profiles read like they have an axe to grind. Rather than saying anything remotely interesting about themselves. And so much more. The whole experience is truly soul crushing. Dating pool gets worse in your late 20s. Especially if you're very average looking like me. The only women interested in me outweigh me by 100 pounds or have 4 kids. Also, girls on Tinder are the absolute worst. Why does every single girl want someone to go on adventures with and must include their love of tacos in their bio? It's not quirky and fun. Literally every girl says it. Because they are boring. This is the most true sentence I have seen. I swipe left on any girl that has any form of a sentences that suggest I need to take her on an adventure. Being in an engineering program where the gender ratio for literally every class I take is at least 5, 1 male to female, and every remotely attractive female already has a boyfriend. When I was in school, my guy friends used to joke they were going to stand outside the business school and look for girlfriends by advertising their major and starting salary on poster boards. But in all seriousness, there are tons of ways to meet people outside your major in school. Clubs, events, meetups, mutual friends, etc. Take advantage of it now. Because trust me, it does not get easier once you graduate. Full stop. Always being the one that has to initiate contact and to keep the conversation going. It gets so frustrating when I go on a dating site and I write a long message only to get a single yeah back after a 100 messages with no replies. Or if I do get a conversation going, it's a nice back and forth going. But the only thing they talk about for the past 10 messages was about themselves, and they didn't ask me a single goddamn thing about myself. Maybe every 2 years I'll go on a date and then I'll have a great time and the conversation goes great, and then you send a nice message saying how much you enjoyed their company and that you want to meet up again. But nope. You get that yeah sure. Maybe if the planets align and Atlantis arises out of the ocean. Because I got so much going on right now, so I'll let you know. Only to get ghosted a day later. Duck off with that sheet. Full stop. I overthink. Which leads to overreacting or too much damage control. And thus causes them to think I'm insane. So they lose interest. And then the depression kicks in. Long story short. I need to ducking chill. Whatever the reason it happened. Meeting new people comes with crushing anxiety, especially when I'm attracted to them. I meet a girl. Really like her. Go out on a date and have an amazing time. I want to see her again soon. So I'll text her and wait about a week before asking her out again. Sounds normal, right? But after the first date, even after having a blast, I get nothing. Very little communication. And a total about face. Weeks go by. And I'd have given up. Not without feeling like the most worthless human being on the planet. Needed to get that out. Edit. Wow. There's some great support coming from some of you guys. Thank you all for the suggestions. Edit 2. Well, she was busy with work, also her mom is in town now. Visiting from overseas. I might have made the mistake of taking them both out now. But things are a little different. I'm just not dating at the moment because I have much higher priorities and am not really interested in anyone. I guess if a boyfriend girlfriend fell into my lap, I'd date them. But I'm not exactly yanking at the bit. I've had several girls throughout my life screw with my feelings. So I don't even know anymore what the signs are of a girl showing genuine interest. I'm also really socially awkward. So I have no idea on how to even start talking to a girl. I have a difficult time connecting. It's very rare that I find someone attractive, interesting and mentally stimulating to want to spend my time with them vs being alone. As an introvert, this is hard for me to find. Too lazy to go outside working hours and find new groups to socialize with. Not attracted to 90% of people on dating sites, or they aren't attracted reply to me. I just want to remain single and enjoy my life, but society thinks that's weird. So friends and family keep trying to coerce me into a relationship. That and too many men want kids and I want no parts in that. I deleted Tinder in favor of Bumble because I thought it would be better. It has actually been worse. At least I actually got matches on Tinder. So far I have no matches on Bumble. On a similar note, I don't know what to say when I do get a match. Everything I can think of is either too boring, super cringy, or possibly sexist. I'm single, as in I have no friends. And the struggle is extremely real because most people seem to already have their circle of friends at my age, 23, and they are either way too busy to consider new friends, or they have a very different personality that I wouldn't want to spend any amount of time with. It really is a struggle. It doesn't help that I've also only ever worked with people older than me, and almost every single one of them have kids and spouses. TLDR, nobody likes you when you're 23. I'm living at my parents' house for a couple more months, post-college. When I was in a long-term long-distance relationship, it was fine. Now I'm not. And it's not fine. I don't know that you'd call them struggles, but I have a couple things that slow the process. 1. I have an incredibly hard time reading interest. Multiple times. My female co-workers have looked at me incredulously because a pretty girl was flirting with me, according to them, and I didn't try anything back. I just immediately think, oh, she's being nice. That's a nice person, because I'm not going to be the creepy guy that hits on nice happy people that ruins their day. 2. I have a type. And it's slim pickings where I live. 3. I have a simple routine. I get to work at 6 AM. I get to the gym at 2:30 PM. I get home at 4:30 to 5 PM. None of these things yield any chances to meet or talk to women I'm interested in. And I don't know where to go or what to do to meet the girls I'm interested in. And I wouldn't have the social skills if I did. Edit. I know that nobody will read this, but it's connected to the comment. And I don't want to just bother people with my tiny achievements that most people wouldn't consider achievements. I waited on a cute girl today, and even had the courage to ask if she was free tonight. She said no. But the fact that I said anything at all past taking her order was a huge step for me.